If you have a Nissan Titan and you want a fog light that packs a little bit more punch, you should check this out. This is the brand new Morimoto 4Banger. These are incredibly bright and they look like they belong on your vehicle. In this video, I'm going to put this in the Morimoto bracket and show you how to install them in the front bumper. So follow me and let's get started. First things first, there's two pod lights that you need to be aware of. The entry level, which Morimoto calls the NCS pod, they use Nichia chips and it's super bright, has the same beam pattern as their higher end model, the HXB or HX Boost. They use an OSRAM chip. Those things are stupid bright. And if you get the beam pattern that is a white wide version, it is the brightest one that we have ever tested here at Headlight Revolution. Now the NCS and the HXB both come in three different beam patterns. They have the wide beam pattern, they have a combo beam pattern, and they have a spotlight beam pattern. All three beam patterns are great, however the one that decimates all is the wide version. 80% or more of our customers buy the white wide version, so that is definitely something to consider, especially if you're going to mount it in something like a fog light. Now if you want to see how these pod lights stack up against the rest of the competitors out there, Chris Nelson does an in-depth review where he compares these against Style Dynamics, Rigid Industries, and so on. So if you want to see how he came to the conclusion of these being the best, be sure to watch that video. Now all of these pod lights and all the driving beam patterns come with either an amber version or a white version. So the higher end OSRAM chips that are used in the HXB 4Bangers, those are a more yellow look. And when you use the NCS 4Bangers, they look a little bit more amber. That's because the NCS uses those Nichia chips. And Nichia chips, they do come in a yellow, whereas the OSRAM chips do not come in a yellow. One thing to note, in all of our testing, the amber versions always came in slightly less than the white versions. That's because the light passing through that yellow lens, it loses a little bit of its luminosity. Since the NCS chip, that entry-level 4Banger, uses a yellow chip passing through the yellow lens, it doesn't quite lose as much lumens. So that is something to consider. Now as far as street legalities go, that NCS chip, if you do mount it at a -3° aim, it does become compliant with the latest SAE F3 regulations. Unfortunately, the HXB is not street legal because it's so dang bright. And it's up to you to decide what's more important for your build. Now, what about the reliability? With all of the testing that we have done so far, we have not had any issues. They have an IP69K rating, which means they're totally waterproof. Also, they have a limited lifetime warranty, so they've got to be pretty good. As far as dimming down goes, when you guys are driving at over 4.5 miles an hour, you actually don't lose as much loss of light as you will see in some of our testing or in our other videos. So be sure to note that they don't actually lose but 8% of the brightness when you're driving over 4.5 miles per hour. The last thing to note about these 4Bangers real quick is that they have about a 30% smaller footprint than that of all of the competitors out there. So if you're mounting them in, say, one of the custom brackets on the front bumper in any of your vehicles, they're gonna fit so much better, like an OEM Plus look. Now that you're up to speed on what the Morimoto 4Banger is, let's go ahead and put the bracket on the 4Banger and then mount it on your truck. First thing you gotta do is flip this 4Banger over. They use shorter screws right here, and your kit comes with two longer screws. What we're gonna do is we're gonna remove the two top screws on your 4Banger itself with a T10 Torx bit. All right, now go ahead and grab your metal bracket that comes in the kit. It looks like this. Go ahead and lay this on the top, just like that. It only goes in one way, so it's really easy to get it right. Now, we're gonna take two of the longer screws that came in the kit, and we're gonna replace those. So we're gonna put two screws right back in to tighten it down. Now go ahead and take this little plastic piece. This is gonna be the adjustment screw. We're gonna go ahead and put this plastic piece right in that metal bracket that you just installed, just like that. Now go ahead and take this plastic bracket here, and we're gonna route the wiring through it, and make sure that the top hole right here lines up with that plastic piece you just put in. It has two locking tabs on each side. Now we're gonna go ahead and take this spring and the screw. So first, let's mount the spring in between this and the plastic piece you just installed. Now that your spring is mounted, take the bigger screw that's in your kit and screw it down. You don't need to screw it down super tight. This is gonna be your adjustment screw. The cool thing is this design here allows you to fully adjust these fog lights when it's mounted on the truck. The vertical adjustment is all taken care of later on. Now go ahead and take that 4Banger, flip it over. We're gonna mount the plastic face to it right now. You'll see the plastic grooves lock into place. All right, it's locked in place. Now go ahead and take the rest of your screws and put those in. They're little ones and they use a T10 Torx as well. And there you go. Now lastly, the last thing you have to do is connect this Deutsch connector right here. It comes with the kit for your Titan. You're gonna go ahead and plug that in. And then this connects to your factory fog light wiring. Now this truck has been in here before where we installed the Morimoto XB fog lights, but now that the 4Bangers have come out, he just wanted a little bit more punch. The fog light that I'm gonna install in this truck is the white wide version, so the wide beam pattern, and it's the HXB, so it's the higher end version. This packs a huge punch, it's got a really good beam pattern, and it's gonna be great for a fog light application like this. So to put this in there, we have to first remove this black plastic piece. There's 4 screws, let's do that now. And then there's one right in here. It's kind of hard to see. You got to turn your wheel to the right. It'll make it much easier on the passenger side. And then there's one more that's really hard to see. I apologize. It's right on the bottom here. All 4 screws removed, the whole plastic piece will come right out. It's really simple as that. Now you can already see the exposed fog light. Now there is an array of bolts holding in the fog light. Yours might be different. In this case, I only got 2 Phillips screws holding it in, so I'm gonna remove those. All right, and then you just work it back. To unplug it, it's really easy. Just pull this tab out and pull it out, just like that. Grab that 4Banger housing. Now go ahead and plug that in, and make sure you hear a click. Now make sure that the 4Banger is facing right way up when you're putting it in. There's 2 LEDs on the top, whereas there's 1 on the bottom. So go ahead and put that in. All right, line it up. Put your 4 screws back in. Now go ahead and zip tie up this wiring. Before you put all this plastic pieces back, go ahead and park your truck against a garage door or a wall of some sort and align the vertical adjustment on the 4Banger. Once you've aligned it how you like, put those plastic pieces back together and the install is complete. And just like that, your Titan's fog lights are completely upgraded. But why stop there? I know you're looking at the brand new Morimoto XB headlights for this truck. They are super bright. We're gonna go over a huge review on that soon. They're brand new, you gotta check them out. Otherwise, go to headlightrevolution.com, type in your year, make, and model to see everything else that we have in aftermarket automotive lighting.